Hey everybody, my name's Jesse and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today we're going to discuss the truth about Generation X. And that truth is based on another truth. Any relationship is reciprocal. You love and you get loved in return. You care, you're cared for in return. And in my experience, and I'll preface this whole video with this is my experience. I know I'm not speaking for every single Gen Xer, but I believe that I'm speaking for a lot of us, and I'll explain why. So before you get up in arms and upset because I'm trying to be the spokesperson for every single Gen Xer alive today, just back up and realize that I'm speaking from my experience, what I've lived through, and what I've seen other people my age live through, and what I've heard from them. I see a lot of people think that our apathy is the cause of a lot of problems in America. All right? Those problems were there before we were ever born. They're just continuing. And the thing about the relationship is, why should we care about a culture, a society, a nation, a world that does not care in return? Never has this society given Gen X a big, warm, fluffy hug and a wet kiss and helped us up into some magical American dream. In my experience, we've had to work and scratch and sweat and bleed just to keep our lights on our entire lives. Now we're told that, and we've been told this for a while now, that there's not going to be any Social Security for us. They did away, the large companies did away with retirement benefits a long time ago, about the time we entered the workforce. So we see our country depleting this Social Security benefits and Medicare and all this, but we've got plenty of money to send to Ukraine and to foot the bill for all these new immigrants coming in, billions of dollars for that kind of stuff. But we can't keep Social Security afloat for Gen X when we get there here in a few years. So basically, I'm going to have to work down here in this Florida sun, 97 degree heat, 100% humidity until I drop dead. And then you want me to worry about global warming or climate change? Okay, tell me, what is the worst case scenario there? What do I have to fear? Is my life going to end early so I only have to work for 15 years or maybe 20 years instead of 30 before I finally kick the bucket? Is this what I'm supposed to be afraid of? Is this what I'm supposed to be so concerned about? What I'm supposed to care about? And a lot of us just had the rug pulled out from under us and had to start completely over back in the last recession, 2009, 2010. Had to start our lives financially completely over from scratch. I know there are more than a few of us out there that have had to live through what I'm talking about. Had our credit destroyed, bank accounts emptied, completely start over like you're a 19-year-old kid financially. Basically, we've been living in survival mode for the last 33 years and we're burnt out. All the care is burnt out of us, out of me. I'm almost to the point where I would welcome any change, almost anything, because I'm middle-aged now. I've been working for over 30 years and I've got about 30 years more, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not going to have the opportunity to have a nice home in a gated community and drive around on a golf cart and sip margaritas or martinis while I'm teeing up, because I'm going to be at work. As the economy keeps getting worse and worse, groceries and electricity and gasoline keeps getting more and more expensive, and wages don't go up with the inflation. They're cutting jobs out with any kind of new technology they can find. The big companies are cutting jobs out to make sure that their profits increase by the correct amount next quarter so that their stocks don't flatline. Their stocks got to keep going up. They can't stay still. And who pays for it? The American working person. That's who pays for it. They pay with their jobs, they pay with their time, they pay with everything they have, literally. And I say American, but this is around the world. It's the same in France and England, Australia, wherever you look. It's the same. Yeah, now we've got these migrants coming up here and making TikTok videos about how easy it is to get money. You don't have to work. All you have to do is have a kid. And the one I saw, the guy, it was a man, and he's sitting there holding a kid like a sack of flour, telling all the people down in Honduras or wherever that how easy it was to take our Social Security money, and I'm supposed to care. And when you're young and you enter the workforce and you think everything, you've got a bright future ahead of you, and maybe one day you'll be able to retire and like your grandpa did and sit back and enjoy your few remaining years. Yeah, that's how you start out. And then as you go along, you realize that you're not going to have that. Your grandpa's life isn't yours. There's going to be no retirement, just work and death. And they want me to care. They want us to care. In my opinion, Greta Thunberg and Bill Gates can take their climate change and their vaccines and their private jets and turn them all sideways and stuff them straight up their asses. All of it's bullshit. To me, working here, what's the point in getting all upset, excited, sewing a flag and making a banner and when I've got to go to work tomorrow for the next 30 years? And for what at the end of it? What's the end goal at the end of all this work? This drudgery. There isn't one. There just isn't. I'm not working toward anything except more work. All we want is to release some of the pressure just to be able to pay our bills without worrying about it. That would be great. Be able to retire at a decent age and spend 10 or 15 years just relaxing. That'd be wonderful. But that's all been taken away. And with recessions and depressions and all this stuff, it's really difficult to set yourself up and do it yourself. Set yourself up for retirement. Don't worry about, Social Security or benefits from a job or something like that. Just set yourself up. It's hard for a common working person, almost impossible, because you just tread water, constantly treading water. And when you start to get up, then there's a recession or something and knocks you back down. So to the people that tell us that we should care, I ask them, give me one reason why I should. One good solid reason why I should. What is in my personal future that is worth caring about? I'd like to know the answer to that question, because I've thought about it every day for years. And I want a real answer, not some existential crap about some climate threats or some emergencies and all that. I honestly don't like thinking about this kind of stuff and talking about this kind of stuff. I don't enjoy it. This isn't fun for me. But it's true. It's the truth. This is the world we live in. This is the world that's been created around us since we were children. And I've said it before, but our future is one big question mark. So what's there to look forward to in a big blank, a big empty void? The only thing I know is out there is more work. That's out there. That's in my future. What do I care if global warming makes it 103 degrees instead of 97? Honestly, it's all misery. 97 degrees and 100% humidity is miserable. Going to be more miserable? I don't think so. Going to be the same miserable. So why should I give a shit about global warming, climate change, zombies, meteors, any of it? I've been lied to my entire life, starting with my parents telling me those little lies, then the media talking about an ice age and killer bees, and then the government, and now people expect me to have all these big warm feelings about this planet. I'm sorry. They're not there. The only feelings I have on a regular daily basis are stress and exhaustion. And I bet there are a lot of Gen Xers out there who can relate to that. This isn't the world that we were sold. This isn't the future that we were told we were going to have. That future was sold to the highest bidder, and we got this one. And I know that a lot of people around the world today and throughout history have had it a lot worse than I do, than we do. I get that. Not taking it away from anyone. I'm just explaining myself and my generation. But I want to end this on a positive note. There's always room for change. Not all hope is lost. It's not all doom and gloom. There's always hope. There's one thing I do actually believe is there's always hope. And I'll leave you on that upbeat note. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by buying me a cup of coffee, and I'll leave the link down in the description. If you're interested in Gen X gear, I'll leave that link down in the description as well. There's some cool stuff on there. And if you can't or don't want to support the channel in either of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. I appreciate that. And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please leave them down in the comments. I appreciate that. That's really fun, bringing your ideas to life in an episode of Gen X Thinks. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.